On Sunday mornings in Ibadan, before the sun fully stretched its arms across the city, Blessing Adeyemi was already awake. Her alarm never needed to ring twice. By 6 a.m., she would be dressed in her choir robe, hair neatly packed, face bare except for lip balm. By 6:30, she would already be seated in the front rows of New Covenant Fire Assembly, helping arrange microphones while humming hymns under her breath. Blessing was not just any church girl. She was Pastor Adeyemi's daughter. And in a church like theirs, that title carried weight. The women admired her. The men respected her. The younger girls studied her closely, copying the way she dressed, the way she spoke, the way she lifted her hands during worship. "See pastor's daughter," they whispered. "So well brought up. So disciplined. That's how a Christian girl should be." Blessing heard it all. She smiled every time. From the pulpit, her father preached about holiness, self-control, and the dangers of this generation. He never mentioned her name, but everyone knew. Whenever he spoke about good upbringing, quiet eyes would drift toward Blessing. She sat straight. She nodded at the right moments. She sang louder than the rest of the choir. Her voice was clear, controlled, and powerful. People said it carried an anointing. But every time she sang about freedom, something tightened in her chest. Because Blessing Adeyemi felt anything but free. At 19, Blessing was already in 400 level, a final-year university student studying in Ibadan. Unlike many of her classmates, she did not live in the hostel. She lived at home. A pastor's house. A house where morning devotion was compulsory. Movements were monitored. Late nights required explanations. Neighbors knew her by name. Her parents believed living at home would protect her. In many ways, it did. But it also meant Blessing was never alone. At school, she attended lectures, group meetings, and project discussions. By evening, she returned home before dark, greeted church members on the street, and joined family prayers. To everyone else, her life looked perfect. But inside her, pressure stacked quietly. Final year came with expectations: finish strong. Maintain her church image. Avoid distractions. Be a role model. At school, her classmates lived differently. They talked freely about relationships, parties, clubs, and late-night outings. They laughed about mistakes. They explored life without fear of representing anyone. Blessing listened. She rarely spoke. Whenever invitations came, she declined politely. "I'm busy. I have church. My parents won't allow it." Soon, people stopped asking. She became that church girl. And slowly, loneliness crept in. At night, after family prayers, Blessing lay on her bed staring at the ceiling, listening to distant music from neighbors' houses, wondering what it felt like to live without being watched. Sometimes she stood in front of her mirror, still dressed modestly, and imagined another version of herself staring back. Bolder. Louder. Unapologetic. Then guilt would rush in. She would kneel and pray. "God, remove these thoughts." But the thoughts stayed. The change didn't come suddenly. It came disguised as friendship. One afternoon after lectures, Blessing ran into Vanessa, a confident classmate known for her bold fashion and fearless attitude. "You always look stressed," Vanessa said, studying her. "Final year is killing all of us, but you're carrying it like a burden." Blessing laughed awkwardly. "I'm fine." Vanessa shook her head. "You need to breathe." Blessing said nothing. Days later, during a group project discussion, Vanessa brought it up again. "Just one night," she said casually. "Nothing serious. Music. laughing. No church people. Nobody knows you. Blessing refused immediately. But the word stayed with her. That night, lying in bed after devotion, she stared at the ceiling longer than usual. No church people. Nobody knows you. The idea felt dangerous. And exciting. It happened on a Friday. Blessing told her parents she had a late project meeting that might run into the night. Her mother frowned. Her father asked questions. Eventually, they agreed after prayer. Her hands shook as she locked her bedroom door. At the back of her wardrobe, hidden beneath old clothes, was a small suitcase. She unzipped it slowly. Inside were things she never wore outside: tight dresses, short skirts, makeup still unopened. She had bought them little by little, telling herself it was harmless. Now, she stood before the mirror, applying lipstick for the first time with intention. When she looked up, she barely recognized herself. And for the first time in years, she felt powerful. That night, Blessing was not pastor's daughter. She introduced herself simply as B. No questions. No expectations. Music filled the air. Lights flashed. People laughed freely. Men looked at her with interest, not judgment. Girls complimented her outfit. She danced. She laughed. She forgot who she was supposed to be. When she returned home close to dawn, heels in hand, heart racing, she promised herself it was a one-time thing. Just once. But once became twice. Twice became a habit. By day, Blessing led worship. By night, she lived another life. And slowly, the two worlds began moving toward each other. It was a month into her secret nightlife. Blessing, be in this world, had grown confident. She moved through clubs with ease, danced like she belonged, laughed like she was free. But freedom always carries shadows. One night, a man approached her. He was older, sharply dressed, with eyes that lingered too long. Not threatening, at least, not yet, but the kind of attention that felt heavy, unwelcome. "Enjoying yourself?" he asked, voice smooth, almost a whisper over the music. Blessing smiled politely. "Yes." He leaned closer. "You're different from the others. Very special." Something about the word special made her skin prickle. She forced herself to smile again. "Thank you." But then he handed her a small box. "For you. Open it later." Blessing's stomach churned. Gifts were fine in polite circles, but this felt calculated. She looked around. No friends nearby. Only him. Her mind raced. Why me? How does he know I'm alone? Before she could respond, he gestured toward a quieter, private room just off the club floor. "Come. Just for a moment." A tiny voice inside her whispered, "Run. Leave now." But another voice, a voice that had led her to this point, whispered back, "Curiosity. Experience. Freedom. Just this once." Earlier that evening, Blessing had spoken to Precious, her school friend who didn't attend church but admired her discipline. "What are you wearing tonight?" Precious had asked in the car. Blessing grinned, lifting the zipper of her hidden suitcase at home in her mind. Something they'll remember. She thought about the makeup, the short dresses, the heels. Something daring. Something bold. Precious laughed. "You're really going all out." "I'm tired of being good all the time," Blessing said softly. "I just want one night where I don't have to think about church, father, school, everyone." Precious' voice dropped. "Blessing, be careful. You know this ward isn't like the choir room. Blessing nodded. I know. I'll be fine. But Precious' warning lingered, a fragile thread of concern she would ignore at the moment. Back in the club, Simi, another friend of Blessing's, noticed the man guiding her toward the private room. Simi. Blessing whispered. I'll be back in a minute. Simi's face hardened. Blessing, wait. Don't go with him. Blessing hesitated. Her heart raced. He just wants to talk, right? Simi stepped closer. Precious told you, don't do this. You don't know him. Blessing's mind whirled between curiosity and caution. The thrill of rebellion pulsed through her veins. Finally, she shook her head. I just want to see what he has to say. And before Simi could protest further, she followed the man into the shadows. Hours later, Blessing returned home. Her hair slightly disheveled. Lips smushed. Shoes in hand. The adrenaline in her veins slowly turned to guilt. She prayed quietly in her room, kneeling beside her bed. God, forgive me, she whispered. I only wanted freedom. I didn't know, her hands trembled. The excitement of the night was gone. Replaced by fear, shame, and anticipation of judgment. Little did she know, this was only the beginning. And her two worlds, church and nightlife, were moving closer. Soon, there would be no hiding. Blessing's secret life escalated, her grade slipped. People began to notice her distracted demeanor in the choir. Gossip started bubbling in whispers among older church members. One night, her parents confronted her after a neighbor reported seeing her in town long after church events. Blessing, what is going on? Her father demanded. His voice was calm but carried the weight of disappointment that pierced her soul. Her throat tightened. Words failed her. For the first time, she saw the look of betrayal in her father's eyes, the same eyes that had once admired her devotion. By morning, her secret life was exposed publicly, church members whispered. The choir members demanded her resignation. Classmates at university teased, some even posted videos of her night out on social media. Blessing Adeyemi, the pastor's daughter, the role model, the choir star, was humiliated. And in the private corners of her heart, she felt the crushing weight of regret. Secrets, no matter how thrilling, eventually catch up. Blessing locked herself in her room. The music, the laughter, the freedom, it all felt distant now. Hollow. The excitement that had once made her heart race now only made it ache. She stared at the suitcase in the corner, the one full of makeup and dresses. She had wanted it to be a portal to freedom. Instead, it had become a symbol of her downfall. Her reflection in the mirror no longer excited her. She did not recognize the person staring back. A single thought consumed her, was it worth it? Tears rolled down her cheeks, silent and unrelenting. For the first time, she prayed without hope. Not for forgiveness, not for courage, not for freedom. She prayed for mercy. And maybe, she thought bitterly, for time to turn back. Weeks passed. She resigned from the choir. School friends distanced themselves. Church members continued to gossip. Her parents struggled to trust her again. The double life she had once cherished became a memory she could neither erase nor admit. Top 5 lessons from Blessing's story. 1. Secret and double lives have consequences. Living two lives may feel exciting at first, but the truth always finds a way to surface. 2. Freedom without responsibility is dangerous. Acting without considering the risks can lead to irreversible regret. 3. Peer pressure can be deceptive. Even well-intentioned friends can unknowingly encourage dangerous choices. 4. Trust is fragile. Once broken, even the closest relationships, family, friends, community, take a long time to heal. 5. Choices define your reputation. One night of rebellion can overshadow years of hard work and good behavior.
Hope you enjoyed that story. My name is Star, and creating African folktales is just one of the many things I love to do. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, turn on your notification, and give this video a thumbs up. Your support means a lot to me. Please also drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'm open to story suggestions. Also, if you'd like to create an African folktale like this, check the description for all the tools I used. Be sure to watch the next story showing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.